All right, hold up. I know what you're thinking. I know you think I'm crazy. I know you think this is clickbait, but let me explain why we are covering this theory from somebody else. This is not my prediction. I am not calling for a $20,000 XRP, but the reason why we titled this video, The Road to a $20,000 XRP, is because this is what the Chad Steingraber theory is all about. And I can barely say his name with a straight face. I don't know if that's his real name, but nonetheless, Chad, one of the community members here that has been putting out a little bit of content, this is his theory on how we go to a higher XRP price. And that's what I want you to focus on. Don't focus on the $20,000 XRP price. This is not a $20,000 XRP price prediction from me. Okay, this is a theory from somebody else. And what I want you to take away from it is understand that everything that he puts together, everything that's written out here describes how we get to a higher XRP price. Now, whether that XRP price is $20 or $20,000, well, that's what's going to make this journey so fun, is we get to find that out together. So without further ado, we're going to get right on into this update. This is the official Chad Steingraber theory, the road to a $20,000 XRP, a thread from the future that has now been updated. Thank you for stopping by. If you appreciate our updates, make sure that you like all of our videos. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. Everything can be found on my website, zachrector.com. And let's get right on into this update. All right, so Chad says that it has been 1.5 years since he wrote this original thread, and a lot has changed, including some parts of this theory actually materializing. He says, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's take a ride, shall we? I got my cup of coffee, Chad. Let's get it. So we're getting started here. He says the original August 2022 theory is still alive and can be referenced. The following is going to expand on it slightly with further details and reference to parts of this theory that have currently materialized. The road to is a journey that leads to a final destination. If you only wait until the end, then you will have missed out on life along the way. Enjoy every step of the mountain, and the victory at the summit will be that much more sweet. First off, we're starting off with asset scarcity. Part of supply and demand is also an issue, like an auction bid where many people are bidding on a limited set of assets that only some of them may own. This can drive up value. It only stops when no one else is willing to pay a higher price. To account for future market appreciation, current price can be projected into value not realized yet. If I buy a valuable plot of land and sell the idea of a future desirable house, I can sell it at the perceived value today based on what we think it might be later. Perception is reality. And he says, without forced appreciation, only 250,000 of new money entered the hood, bringing the original money injection at 1 million. So the other 500,000 in the hood market cap is phantom money. This is due to the willingness to pay a price for an asset of perceived value. And he's talking about the neighborhood, right? Now, third, we have limited assets. The Mona Lisa is valuable because it is the only one. We can make copies, or what we call derivatives, but we can't make more Mona Lisas. Also, because of its importance to society, we place on it a high price. That value is in our minds. Now, for those of you that are new to XRP, let's establish some facts. We have a limited supply of less than 100 billion total, no more. Recall that over 10 million XRP have already been burned, and the more utility we get, the more XRP is going to be getting burned. On each ledger transaction, we destroy or burn a small portion of XRP to validate its transfer. It is deflationary. You can issue any other asset on the ledger in the form of an IOU, or what is now called tokens. XRP is dirt cheap today because almost all trading is a small public pool of existing money that's essentially wash trading back and forth through retail. The public supply is important because that determines the price. Circulating supply is king. Today, XRP's market cap is 30 billion. But wait, that doesn't mean there is actually 30 billion of money that has been put into XRP. See number 3. There's far less, as the market cap is just a reflection of the current value anyone is willing to pay. Today's price, or the last price paid times the supply, gives you that market cap, right? Phantom money, remember? We were told that we were told the story that banks will send money to public exchanges, but what they are really sending it to are fully regulated custodians that hold XRP and provide the currency swap. This is Ripple's software, now called Ripple Payments. It was called RippleNet. ODL is what settled with XRP. Now they've merged it all into Ripple Payments. Ripple Payments are really for the little guys, leveling the playing field for small banks and money transmitters to eventually eliminate dependency of correspondent banking to major banks, allowing competition to flourish. Ripple Payments are for the minor leagues. Example, Neum. And he gives this example right here. Through Neum's use of Ripple in the Philippines and Mexico corridors, we have been able to eliminate pre-funding requirements and offer faster remittances at a lower cost. And recall that the pre-funding accounts called Nostro Vostro equate to over 20 trillion, about 30 trillion of pre-funded liquidity that has to get locked up just so that the banks can trust each other. Exactly the way that we thought of ODL working during this time did not materialize, and that is because Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, etc. will not send their money to transfers directly to open public exchanges. I still have a nice igloo in Florida if you want it. And in this original thread back in August of 2022, he predicts that Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, etc. will not use ODL as we know it. If you think that Chase is going to rely on Kraken or Binance to source public exchanges for trillions of dollars in global transfers, I have a nice igloo in Florida to sell you. And he's, talking about DEI has the igloo in South Georgia, right? Well, as we've seen now, Ripple has now moved from relying on the centralized exchanges like a Kraken or a Binance or others, and Ripple is now going to be using the DEX built into the XRP ledger to source liquidity for on-demand liquidity. And then when we get the AMM, then they're going to be tapping into that as well. They won't even need to use any exchange. They'll be able to use the decentralized exchange that's built into the XRP ledger, and the AMM is what is coming to make the XRPL DEX even more efficient. To clarify the retail trading statement, this doesn't mean eliminating retail trading. It means that the actual purpose and the reason for its existence is for instant access to global liquidity and swapping of assets without an intermediary entity being the gatekeeper. He says banks require privacy. That's not going to change anytime soon. Let me be more clear. No bank on earth will expose their internal ledger transactions to public. The privacy is for you, for the bank to conduct business and create loans without prying eyes. We know that Ripple has been working with banks like Bank of America or SABB to create private XRP ledgers, right? We know that they have 10 central bank projects already live on the private version of the XRP ledger. We saw that Palau did launch phase 1 of their pilot program was on mainnet XRPL. That was a unique case. Very interesting because we were all able to watch those transactions. Now, for the other 10 central banks that Ripple's working with, they are creating their CBDC and they're issuing it on the private version of the XRP ledger. And you better believe that there's going to be interoperability between that private layer and the mainnet XRPL. This allows any bank to create a financial infrastructure privately without exposing customer or bank data. The key here to remember is custody. XRP will become a reserve currency asset like gold. Remember from Ripple, quote, banks holding XRP, that's the holy grail. Remember, XRP can issue any other type of assets, IOUs, or tokens. CBDCs can be issued as well. That means that Bank of America will create a B of A coin on their private XRPL. As I've stated too, you could have JP Morgan coin launched by JP Morgan on the XRPL as well, or on the private version. Bank of America will create a private ledger, and see what happens is they create their walled gardens on the private ledger that have interoperability when they so please with each other's, B of A coin with JPM coin. You have that interoperability because they're both issued on the XRP ledger. B of A will create a private ledger and hold XRP as a reserve asset, like how a central bank will hold gold as a backing asset. B of A creates B of A coin, an XRP derivative, internally for tracking balances in user accounts. You see dollars in your accounts, but on the back end, what are they holding, right? They're holding an XRP derivative. And then they're, ultimately they're holding XRP as well. Internally, B of A can do whatever they want as long as they hold a balance of XRP. That's the key. They are not going to send their XRP anywhere, just like a gold reserve. In fact, they will seek to increase their balance to grow their business. How do they send their money to another bank? Enter liquidity hubs. See what we're talking about? You're going to have an AMM liquidity pool between JPM coin and Bank of America coin, now known publicly as Medico. This is an institutional grade custodian that holds a massive basket of different digital assets. Medico connects directly with a bank at HSBC to act as their custodian. And recall that Medico was tasked by HSBC for HSBC to offer tokenized gold to their bank members, to their institutional clients, I should say. And obviously, the Medico acquisition this year was one of the biggest acquisitions in the entire cryptocurrency space. Ripple acquiring a key piece of infrastructure, the custody aspect that was much needed. The liquidity hubs also hold a balance of XRP because they are the third-party exchange that requires a transfer on the XRPL of the issued IOU derivative into another IOU derivative, or as they're actually now called tokens. Why? HSBC will never hold Bank of America coin. In turn, B of A will not hold on to HSBC coin, called counterparty risk. So B of A coin is sent to Medico Liquidity Hub using XRP to transfer into HSBC coin because the Medico Liquidity Hubs hold all of them. Bank of America coin, HSBC coin, Wells Fargo coin, JPM coin, etc. US dollar CBDC version. You see where this goes. That dollar amount of the HSBC coin is sent to HSBC Bank and shows up as dollars in your account. This is where we've long talked about how retail won't touch XRP, but XRP will be being used on the back end on the wholesale payment level. Have you spotted the magic trick yet? They need XRP. It's now a business dependency, and just like gold, they're going to go beast mode on hoarding what now is the most valuable asset on Earth. The entire global transfer of money depends on it, and you'll never see it. Think of it as a digital arms race where every bank, every liquidity hub will hoard XRP to increase their balance sheets. And remember, we've shown you guys how right now, as we speak, December 30th, as we're about to enter into 2024, banks in America are holding $684 billion of unrealized losses on their bonds. Banks also have a multi-trillion-dollar delinquent and default debt on commercial real estate. So their balance sheets are some of the biggest ticking time bombs in existence in our entire financial world. The balance sheets of these banks are terrible. They need to solve this problem. How could you do that? Well, you acquire some XRP for cheap and you watch the price appreciate. And while you hold that XRP as a store of value, it's also really cheap and easy and quick to use it for utility as well. Whether that's cross-border payments, NFTs, or settling any sort of other value or derivatives on the XRPL. The majority of XRP escrowed at Ripple will never see the light of day. Quote, lender of last resort. When they run out of OTC options, what's next? The public supply. The circulating public supply of XRP on crypto's exchanges is far less than people realize. We've been talking about this one, haven't we, folks? The supply shock is incoming. My XRP in my cold storage wallet is not circulating. It is reported to circulate on CoinMarketCap, but I can tell you a 100% fact with absolute certainty that my XRP will not be circulating. I will not sell it. And I'm not even going to make most of it available for liquidity hubs or AMMs. And I'm not going to sell any until we get to a much higher price. It is not circulating. A lot of XRP has been lost. Remember, Banker Mellon, that was BNY Mellon Air, held 1 billion XRP and died. Keys lost forever. There's about 20-ish billion on the exchanges. Low supply. The banks, when ready, are coming for the public XRP supply, and once they have it, it's gone. Like as in forever. You'll never see it again. Makes you think about, selling off that precious XRP. okay, I could sell it off for $5 or $10, but where is this little precious reserve currency in the new financial system going? So now imagine the banks and liquidity hubs overnight begin panic buying the public XRP market supply. An institutional FOMO run on the order books with multi-billions of dollars hitting like a tsunami, the likes we've never seen. What happens when you wipe out the public order books in a matter of hours? 30-cent XRP gone, 40-cent XRP gone, 50, $1 XRP gone. And when that happens, other exchanges start arbitrage to the highest price. Private wallets transfer in to cash out. At that point, they're not coming back to dump on the public markets for profits. That's peanuts compared to the business of global money transfers in the multi-trillions on a daily basis. We've already covered it, right? SWIFT does about 5 or 6 trillion daily. ACI worldwide does about 14 trillion daily. The clearinghouse in the United States does a couple trillion daily. These are just a few liquidity flows. These are just a few, corridors. Guess what? I've just been talking about the banks. This never addressed the investment side. We're not done. The global US dollar money supply and circulation is somewhere around 40 trillion. To be in the 1% of public XRP holders varies somewhere between 60 to 70,000 XRP valued at about $30,000 give or take on the day. There's only a few billion on the exchanges for public retail trading. Now add the rest of the world's banks, the rest of the liquidity hubs, add the world's billionaires who will want their cut, add the quadrillion plus derivative market and ETFs, add common use in public projects like video games, music, and movies. Think about this real hard. What happens when that public circulating supply drops to only 1 billion? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? What's next? It's going sub-billion into the hundreds of millions. What's next? Only 100 million in public supply. What comes after that? Sub 100 million public circulating supply. What happens next? 21 million circulating supply left for the rest of us. We all know what a supply cap of 21 million means, right? One last thing. Notice, I didn't tell you what price XRP would be at. You had thought that all by yourself. And he's obviously referring to Bitcoin, and many of us, that's where we go when we think of Bitcoin and how it's been able to achieve a price of 69,000 US dollars. That was with a 21 million supply. And Chad, in his theory here, is talking about the potential for us to go down to, sub 1 billion circulating supply that's available for public retail traders. Additions, source of XRP permanent lockup. So this is who's going to be locking up large bags of XRP. It's going to be bank private ledgers, liquidity hubs, ETF funds. And by the way, we're all getting ready for the Bitcoin ETFs to get approved here in January. Recall that there's already ETPs, exchange traded products for XRP, live in Europe. You're going to see ETFs here go live in the United States eventually for XRP. It is all coming. And we saw what happened to gold and silver. After gold got its ETF, it did a 5x, growing 500%. And for silver, it was 1,000%. Silver did a 10x or caught a 10-bagger. Private millionaires and billionaires, family trusts, family offices, sovereign wealth funds, XRPL sidechains. And then we look at how the ETF brings price increases. The public exchanges hold XRP. The ETF fund buys XRP from the public. The ETF locks up XRP. Their derivative shares are sold to the majority. Public supply drops, demand goes up from both ETF and public. Price has no other direction but up. The majority of investors in the world, including institutions and governments, will invest money through these ETFs, not XRP directly. These investors are long-term, as in decades of holding or as in forever, passed down from generation to generation. These people will live off the interest of an asset long before they ever sell their assets. This theory briefly touches on XRP becoming a world reserve currency, and that is because it can be assumed that once all banks in the world depend on an asset for global transactions, then it becomes a reserve asset. There is no official world declaration needed. As I've stated, I believe that Ripple's already achieved their simple goal, as stated in 2017, of making XRP a world reserve digital currency, because I treat XRP as a reserve on my balance sheet. Ripple treats XRP as a reserve on their balance sheet. By continuing to lock more and more XRP back into escrow, they're being the righteous and responsible custodians of the reserve currency, and they're treating it as a reserve. There is no official world declaration needed. Once all currencies and commodities are coins, then they are all digital assets, so the term cross-border fiat will become a relic of the past. It will only be asset to asset and require atomic swaps between them. This eliminates the term domestic and foreign. What you're moving towards is that internet of value. Expanding on liquidity hubs, the Nostro Voce dead capital accounts of today will also evolve into becoming these live liquidity hubs positioned around the world managed by AI. Banks, money transmitters will not even have to worry about this issue as it will be automated 24/7, 365. Many countries will adopt CBDCs, some built on the XRP ledger. It is my prediction that the US will ban CBDCs and adopt USDC as the de facto digital dollar. That's a very interesting prediction there, Chad. USDC is already far ahead with multi-chain interoperability and will one day flow just like email. What I'm waiting for is for the XRPL to get the clawback amendment. And after we get that clawback, I'm expecting Circle to come in and issue USDC on the XRP ledger. Passing the year 2030, our world will be a much different place. Digital assets will be a common business dependency and investment tool. There will be two eras referred to: people who held digital assets pre-ETF and those who came in after or post-ETF. Instead of looking at market cap at its value limit, we should be using market value as a benchmark. I've brought up the term liquidity value is the term that I use. Same thing though, market value, liquidity value, same thing. Much different calculation from market cap. This would be a more complicated approach that would include and combine transaction volumes, global liquidity, total lock value, and investor sentiment. You will be able to buy anything with any asset because they will all be tokenized, settling in real time. Have Ripple stock? Great. It's a tokenized security and you can buy your groceries with it. This is the true internet of value waiting for us all. Enjoy the ride. Now, as I stated at the very beginning, this is not a $20,000 XRP price prediction, okay? This is me covering the theory that Chad has put together. He calls it the Chad Steingraber theory, the road to a $20,000 XRP. For me, I'm not focused so much on that price prediction or that number. What I'm focused in is what's being built out here. This is the internet of value on the XRPL. We're getting all of the amendments to bring in this DeFi and utility to the XRPL on the back of getting legal clarity here in the United States, on the back of ETFs going live here in the United States. This is such an exciting time to be in the XRP community. And although I know many people are losing faith, losing conviction, and they're tired of, I'm tired of the, 10,000 XRP talk. I'm tired of this and that. That's fine. When you put all this together and you just say, okay, what if we're only half right? What if we're only 10% right? Where do we go? We go somewhere very interesting. We have a life-changing opportunity. And I'm not here to give anybody financial advice, but I think that what Chad put together here is a great thread on what is being built out on top of the XRPL. And obviously, XRP being the native asset is going to see price appreciation from the utility and the value that gets settled and placed and stored on the XRPL. It's going to increase the value of the XRP token itself. And so I'm here for the ride. Whether this takes us to $20 XRP, I think it goes much further than that. I'm just being honest with you guys. I think we go much further than $20. And I don't rule out, I'll just tell you guys right now, I do not rule out 3-digit price for XRP. To me, there is no limit. There is no cap on how high this thing can go. And there's only a certain limit to how low the US dollar can go, which is 0, which is getting completely reset. We'll see if that takes place. But as you're seeing with countries around the world, gold has already gone to all-time high against the US dollar and all these other currencies. If you look at XRP, the same thing has happened. XRP's already gone to all-time high against the Turkish lira, against the South Korean won. And you start to see what's happening here, where the alternatives are presenting themselves. This is why Bitcoin has shown such strength. This is why XRP has shown such strength. And one final point that I'm going to make. When you look at all of the coins in this whole space, you look across the board, all of these tokens, They all have a chart that looks very similar. That chart goes straight up. It's very exciting. Fireworks take place, and then it collapses, and then it never recovers. And these coins basically just fizzle and die out. There's a reason why XRP has been in the top 5, the top 10 here. Basically for the last decade, XRP has been in the last, in the top 10, right? And what I think is coming here for XRP is going to be significant price appreciation with the utility that's going to drive that value on the network. And you're talking about value being stored. You're talking about value being settled. And we're talking about trillions upon tens of trillions, upon hundreds of trillions, upon quadrillions of dollars worth of value that is going to be tokenized and settling up on DLT technology. If XRP just gets a piece of that action, we go somewhere fun. And so with that being said, guys, I just want to say thank you for stopping by. I hope everyone's enjoying your weekend here as we get ready to ring in the new year. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing a New Year's live show. I don't know what time we're going to be going live, so make sure you hit that notification bell. And then if you haven't already, please like this video. Everything else can be found on my website, zachrector.com. And I want to let everybody know that we're down to about 48 hours left to go for the special that we're running through the end of the year, where you can save 13% on your Patreon membership when you sign up for a 1-year Patreon membership. Save 13%. Take advantage of it. That deal is going to be ending on the new year. So take advantage of it while it's here. And I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Everything else is at zachrector.com. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.